Four-weight world champion celebrated before he even scored KO when he saw opponent's legs turn to jelly. Nonito Donaire announced himself to the bantamweight division when he knocked out Fernando Montiel spectacularly. In 2011, having already reigned as world champion in the flyweight division, Donaire moved up in weight to take on Montiel for the unified WBC and WBO bantamweight world titles.
And it did not take long for Donaire to be crowned champion, as he got his opponent out of there quickly. In round 2. Both men traded left hooks, but Donaire's had a lot more behind it, as Montiel collapsed down to the canvas. At this point, Montiel seemed unable to control his body, as his legs and arms twitched, but he couldn't lift himself.
Eventually, his brain kicked back into gear, and he made it to his knees. Before falling flat on his face once again, Donaire began celebrating, lifting his hand in the air, and he jumped up and down believing he had won. Somehow, however, Montiel beat the count and found himself on his feet, but he was stumbling around the ring and looked incredibly unstable.
It was an astonishing display of resilience, and the Filipino Flash knew he'd have to channel himself back in. After a shock recovery, the referee allowed the fight to continue. But after 2 more power punches from Donaire, the contest was over. And this time, he could celebrate for real. In his post-fight interview, Donaire revealed he had predicted a second-round knockout to his coach before the bout.
After finishing his rival with the ferocious left hook, Donaire had become unified champion, picking up the WBC and WBO bantamweight belts. It was the second division he had conquered at world level, having won the IBF title at flyweight in 2007. After one defense of his title that he won in spectacular fashion, Donaire chose to move to super-bantamweight. In that division he picked up the WBO strap at the first time of asking with a win over Alfredo Vasquez Jr. in 2012, before adding the IBF belt in the same year. His 4-weight world champion status across flyweight, bantamweight, super bantamweight, and featherweight surely guarantees this, and his 50-fight record 40-8 is among the strongest in the sport.